The payload on STS-83 is the Microgravity Science Laboratory, a pressurized module in Columbia's payload bay. We're going to take a tour now of the MSL-1 Spacelab.
Hello, my name is John Heckel, and I'm the Payload Operations Engineer for STS-83, the Microgravity Science Laboratory. We're standing inside the Orbiter Processing Facility, and what you see over my shoulder is the Microgravity Science Laboratory inside the orbiter's payload bay. The Microgravity Science Laboratory weighs about 10 tons. It's 23 feet long and about 13 feet in diameter. It only takes up about a third of the orbiter's payload bay. And the way the astronauts get from the crew module into the Spacelab module is they travel through this long tunnel you see here.
Space Shuttle Columbia on the pad was the first in the shuttle fleet. Arrived at KSC in March of 1979, and the first launch was from Pad A, same pad as we're using today, on April 12, 1981. It deployed the first satellite in the Space Shuttle program on STS-5 and then flew the first Spacelab mission on STS-9. Columbia is named after a small sailing vessel that was based in Boston Harbor in 1792. And another one of Columbia's claims is that it brought back the long duration exposure facility from space after almost 6 years in space. Here we see our commander, Jim Halsell. And Jim Halsell has flown previously on STS-65 and STS-74. Here's our pilot, Susan Still, the second female pilot to fly the Space Shuttle. Graduate of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University locally in Daytona Beach. Janice Voss, our payload commander on this mission. She's logged more than 18 days in space. This is her third Space Shuttle flight, having flown on STS-57 and STS-63. And mission specialist number 3, or rather payload specialist number 1, I'm sorry, Roger Crouch, will be responsible for much of the science operations on board the Microgravity Spacelab. This is his first Space Shuttle flight. Mike Gernhardt, mission specialist number 2, and also our flight engineer for STS-83. Here's Greg Lentiris.
They picked up a little IPR at 140. It was they did an abort advisory check inside the module and missed a step, so they just had to replay.
Payload specialist number 2, his first flight into space, also responsible for much of the science on board the Microgravity Science Laboratory. Here's Don Thomas once again, mission specialist number 3. We're standing by now to come out of this 2-hour built-in hold in just a few moments. Coming out in 4, 3, 2, 1. We're now at T-minus 3 hours and counting. This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 2 hours, 58 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. And we see the STS-83 crew has just left the suit-up room, headed for the elevator. Be heading down from the 3rd floor to the 1st floor, aboard the astronaut van for the 20-minute ride out to pad 39A. Meanwhile, out at the launch pad, the final inspection team has just reported that their activities are complete and they're leaving the pad. And in just a moment we should see the crew, many KSC employees and well-wishers waiting to greet them as they come out of the elevator. And here they come. Larger than usual contingent of employees wishing them well. This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 2 hours, 37 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. The astronauts have arrived at the 195-foot level of the fixed service structure where the orbiter access arm is located. And the commander and pilot will walk across the arm shortly to begin their boarding, while the other crew members await their turn, either out on the arm or on the fixed service structure. And as we've been able to tell, they're really enjoying the very nice day out at the pad to take advantage of looking at Space Shuttle Columbia being prepared in the last hours here for flight.
Entity, MS1, com check.
MS1, Entity, loud and clear, Janice. Good morning, welcome aboard.
Morning, John, loud and clear here.
All activities proceeding on schedule. We're not working any issues. Weather continues to be cooperative, at least at this point in time. At T-minus 59 minutes and counting, this is shuttle launch control.
TDS-10. LS-10. 969, verify is complete. Copy. Okay, and this is the entity conducting launch status check. All stations verify, ready to resume count, and go for launch. OTC. OTC's go. Copy. TBC. Second boosters is go for launch. TTC. TTC is go. LTS. LTS is go. Houston flight.
Houston flight is go.
Copy. Mila. Mila go. STM. STM go. Safety console. Safety console go. SPE.
SPE is no go at this time.
Copy. CDR.
Columbia is go.
Copy. LRD. LRD is go. And SRO.
SRO is go. You have a range clear to launch.
Standing by to start the main engine helium purge sequence, preparing for main engine start activities.
TLS is go for purge sequence 4.
And now we'll be checking the flight controls on the orbiter, the aero surface profile test. Vehicle will go to internal power in about 10 seconds.
CDR OTC to verify heater reconfiguration complete.
Yes, sir, that is complete. Thank you.
Copy.
Coming up on T-minus 3 minutes 23 seconds. We're now gimbaling the three main engines, checking their steering capability. Next activity will be to pressurize the liquid oxygen tank on the external tank at T-minus 2 minutes 55 seconds. And we'll start the retraction of the Gox beanie cap.
Pressure station.
TLT-OTC, I will go to clear caution warning memory and verify no unexpected errors.
Captain what?
Topping off for the fuel cells being terminated.
Caution and warning memory clear, non-expected errors.
I copy flight crew. You will go to close and lock your visors, initiate O2 flow, and enjoy your on-orbit spring break.
Roger that, sir. We'd like to say thanks to everybody who has got Columbia and us ready to fly.
TLS, let's go for ET, LH2 pressurization.
Pressurizing the hydrogen tank on the external tank now. Replenishing the liquid hydrogen tank has been terminated.
T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Standing by now to arm the sound suppression water system. T-minus 1 minute. Solid rocket booster joint heaters being turned off. Final check now of the booster commands. Locks and LH2 fill and drain valves are closed. Payload bay vent doors are positioned. Standing by to hand off to Columbia's computers.
TLS, let's go for auto sequence start.
And the handoff has occurred. Columbia's computers now controlling.
20.
Firing chain is armed. Sound suppression water system activated. Range safety systems armed.
10.
9, 8, 7. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And liftoff of Space Shuttle Columbia with the Microgravity Science Laboratory, our research bridge to the space benefits of tomorrow.
Hopeful down, Houston.
Roger, roll, Columbia.
Houston's now controlling. Columbia is rolling on course toward a 160 nautical mile high orbit, inclined 28.5 degrees to Earth's equator. Columbia already traveling 300 miles per hour. Throttled back to 2/3 throttle to prepare the spacecraft to pass through the area of maximum air pressure and go supersonic. Altitude now 2.5 miles, 1.5 miles east of the launch pad. Columbia is traveling 650 miles per hour. One minute to 55 seconds since liftoff. Flight controller standing by. Next a few seconds for burnout and jettison of the twin solid rockets. Booster officer confirms good separation of the solid rockets.
Columbia, performance is nominal.
Copy, performance nominal.
That call indicating that Columbia's performance thus far is just as planned. Altitude now 34 miles. Columbia is traveling 3,000 miles per hour, 42 miles east of the Kennedy Space Center. 6.5 minutes since launch, 2 minutes to cutoff of the main engines. Booster officer confirms cutoff of the main engines.
Columbia, we showed a nominal MECO. OMS 1 is not required. You have a go for the photo DTO.
Copy, go for the DTO.